let's get started with those Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals, last place in the division, 4 wins, 13 losses. This was a trash year. As much of a tank year as you could have. I don't really think NFL teams tank, but going into last year for the Cardinals, Kyler Murray was going to miss the first few months. Not many great receiving options on this team. I don't think they were expecting playoffs, and they didn't get close.
No, they didn't. Didn't seem like they even wanted to. Did you go through the stats? Because I kind of blanked out there for a second.
No, I did not.
They were 4th in rushing yards.
Yeah.
That's
of that
the big one.
Is a running quarterback, but he also didn't play all the time. But yeah,
exactly.
They can run the ball. They were 26th in passing
yards.
With me. 24th in points scored. So they could rush a lot, but they could not get into the end zone. And Josh Dobbs could not throw the ball and was traded mid-year.
And it was funny.
It was bald.
It was bald.
So,
no coaching changes, correct?
No, not really any spot to find an edge here. They're in their second season. That's John Gannon and Drew Petzig as head coach and offensive coordinator.
Yes. Moving on to those trenches, that outline that was so bad.
Very bad last year. So I don't think I've tried to hide this at all. I get these offensive line ranks from Player Profiler. They just had an end of season ranking. And the Cardinals were in their own tier, just above quarterback killer tier. So not good, but there's definitely worse options. They have drafted some offensive linemen, 3rd rounder, a 5th rounder. They've signed some players to fill out depth. We can expect some improvement here, but I'm not really not expecting anything amazing from this line.
No, it's pretty incredible if the line can be that bad and they can still have so many rushing yards. But like you said, they didn't score points, so that's not ideal for an NFL team.
When a team is this bad, I'll kind of just throw away a little bit of the analysis and give them that extra edge of, like, they were horrible. They'll get better.
Starting with the QB Kyler Murray, he is currently ranked ECR. That means
expert consensus rankings. We don't have our own rankings yet. We're just pulling rankings from the fantasy community.
Indeed. Currently ranked at 9 on those expert consensus rankings.
It's too low. He's
too
good.
Low, I think, actually.
He's good.
I think he is. I think he is very. I mean, obviously, running, passing quarterback. Even if he's running for his life, obviously,
those yards
that
count.
Offensive line.
Those yards count. They don't have any sort of qualifier to see it. Was the quarterback scared when he was running? They just count him. If he's scared, it still works.
Something I would like to add to the NFL lexicon, you know how we said Daniel Jones rumbles, or if you see an offensive lineman that accidentally picks up the ball, he rumbles down the field.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray skedaddles.
He's just a little skedaddler.
Yeah, it's like, as many people have said, it's like, when a toddler is running from their parents, or I would, like to put out there a Looney Tunes character. Yeah. Skedaddles.
Today, my toddler said, I'm going to show you my super speed, and then she ran into the wall. So that's
just like Kyler Murray.
That's Kyler Murray.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a very good QB. That really, really improved wide receiver core. He's going to be starting, he's going to be here at least at the start of the season, because that's what it was last year, right? They had Dobbs for the beginning, or did he
Dobbs was the beginning of the season. Yeah,
yes,
Kyler,
that's right.
We knew going into last season, Kyler would not be starting for the first couple months. So,
but this is a wide receiver core that looks a lot better.
Way better, yeah. So we'll cover that as we get into the wide receivers, but a little bit more talking about Kyler Murray. I don't like to double ding an injury guy. He was hurt and then came back and is still recovering. He's able to play the position, but still recovering. So I don't like to look at the stats from last year and say, well, let's take that and project it forward for the rest of this year. We've seen him be very good. The only reason I talk about him so much is because he's ranked at 9, and I would take him over other running quarterbacks such as like Anthony Richardson, who we bring up a lot, who's going at 6. Like Kyler has done it and has a lot of that same skill set of running to get those yards.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we do a quick pick your pig? Can you pull up where Kyler is ECR 9 compared to other folks? I think this is somebody that I didn't really want to mess with last year because of the injury situation, but somebody I would be so ecstatic to have because we are in a 2 QB league also. So that's just, there's a lot of good QBs out there.
1 QB league. So we pulled up the rankings here. Would you rather have Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy?
Kyler all day.
Sure.
Easily.
Same question, Jordan Love.
Kyler all day.
Dak Prescott, who threw a lot of touchdowns last year.
He did throw a lot of touchdowns. I would still take Kyler, I think, over that.
All right.
I would be happy to roll those dice.
Joe Burrow, who's out at rank 7th.
I think you could make an argument to take Kyler over Burrow. Because Burrow usually starts the season pretty slow anyways. I have faith in Kyler to at least run well.
Let's go trickier one. CJ Stroud, not a big runner, had a good rookie season with touchdowns. Sometimes that gets better for a second-year quarterback. Sometimes there's a sophomore slump. CJ Stroud is at QB 5. Would you take Stroud or Murray?
I think I would take Murray. Would you also take Murray? Because I also kind of believe in the sophomore slump, and I know Murray consistently puts out numbers.
I will for sure end up with Kyler Murray way more often than CJ Stroud because I don't want to pay that Stroud price. I might even just stat out Murray to have a better year.
Yeah, I could see that just because of the running, and with a receiver core, whatever. Let's jump into the running backs here. James Conner is their number 1 guy. ECR rank currently at 21.
Yes. I don't have his age, but he is extra old.
Yeah.
Let's pull this up. I mentioned
the other.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. The other options are Trey Benson. He was a round 3 rookie. Is that what you have here?
Top of the round 3, which is why I mentioned James Conner's age, because James Conner is 29. We expect that this will be a transitioning year from James Conner to Trey Benson. I don't know how that's going to shake out so far. James Conner was the incumbent when this head coaching staff came in, when this offensive staff came in. He's aging out. I would expect him to be in the last year of his contract or have a cut year after this, or like a cut potential after this year. But whoever's getting the most carries, I think is going to be a value for you. If Conner is the lead guy at 21st running back taken overall, he's outperformed that pretty regularly.
Yeah. It's just you might have to worry about injuries, but you don't usually like to talk about that, I will say. I do talk about it too much.
I don't like to predict that someone will get injured and then make my analysis off of that. Although James Conner is maybe one of those guys that I might, because he has missed 3 to 5 games a year going back forever. It feels like might not actually be true, which is kind of why I don't mess around with talking a ton about injuries, because you start to think stuff happened when it didn't. But
anything else to wrap up the running back corner?
No, they're both probably good values where they're going. If Trey Benson, if James Conner misses time, Trey Benson moves up into a top 24 guy easily. This offense can run. I think this offense just couldn't score points last year. I think that'll get better. Some of that's going to go to running backs.
Yeah. So let's jump into the wide receiver position. Biggest name on this list, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. He is currently ranked ECR at 11, which
highest rated rookie receiver prospect in a while.
Yeah.
2nd overall pick, is that right? No, 3rd.
No. 3rd.
3rd or 4th? 4th.
Wow, you keep talking, I'll look it up.
I think it's important. It doesn't really matter. It's that the highest a receiver has been drafted in a long time. You're holding up the number 4. He's going to be we're expecting a very good career from him. ECR 11 seems a little bit early for someone that we haven't seen do it.
Yeah.
We've seen wide receivers get drafted in the top 10 and not pan out at all.
Mm-hmm.
My heart doesn't think that's what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to buy him a lot at 11.
Yeah, exactly. I think that he is going to be a very good player at some point, but I think he works really well as bait this year if you were in an auction-style league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you just have an active group chat, you can just keep talking him up and see if somebody takes him higher than you want to and get somebody with some more consistency. Like he's ranked here around Brandon Ayuk, which, sans any contract things or the possibility. Wasn't there talks about him being traded or something?
Yeah. Yeah,
We'll
we'll talk about that more later when we cover the 49ers.
Or Chris Olave, who we've already seen do well. Mike Evans, who's the best push-off in the league. Yeah.
Does have the best push-off.
I think Marvin Harrison's great bait this year, and then definitely somebody in year 2 that I will be trying to get a lot.
For fantasy at wide receiver, he's really the only guy we're giving a lot of consideration to. Zay Jones is a good NFL receiver. Mike Wilson in his second year may grow into something, but in the draft, the only person that I'm really looking at that you would need to strategize your draft around is Marvin Harrison. And it's kind of just how high do you want to take him? Because you're going to have to take him high if you are targeting him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You want to say anything about Mike Wilson, Zay Jones? I think this is a good wide receiver room for them.
No, nothing more than I already have.
Yeah, exactly. Tight end position, Trey McBride, ECR number 4.
Yeah, I've seen people rank him as tight end 1. I prefer him closer to 4. I just don't want to assume that he's going to hit the same production that he did over the back half of last season. Last season, they started with Zach Ertz as their main tight end and traded him midway throughout the year. We're also looking at stats of Kyler coming back for some of that time, other quarterbacks for other parts of that time. There's new receiving options in the offense. I feel safer taking him at 4. At tight end 5 is George Kittle right now, and I would probably take him ahead of George Kittle.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. Jack, who's your prize pig on the Arizona Cardinals?
It's probably got to be Kyler, with how long we spent talking about Kyler.
Yeah.
Or Trey Benson, just grabbing him at 38 and hoping that things break the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a blue-collar hog on this team? I feel like Kyler's...
It's got to be James Conner. He's just the locked and loaded running back 2. If things stay the same as they were last year, you're just going to get points every week at that position.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see that.
I don't know how it'll shake out, but... Yeah,
I think this will be interesting to see if they can put up those kind of rushing yards again and actually start to put points on the board, which I think they definitely can and will now that they have more of a wide receiver room than just D-Hop, who I think was... 78 years old last year? Is that right?
Last year was Hollywood. Marquise Hollywood Brown was on the team.
Oh, that's right. Was it 2 years ago they had D-Hop?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Hopkins? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, actually, we should probably cover that because we normally say, hey, who was hurt? How did that affect the team? Last year when Kyler was playing, he did not have a lot of overlap with Hollywood Brown. So even when he came back, he's hurt or still recovering from an ACL injury and really did not have receiving options. I think things are way better this year for him.
Yeah. Anything else to wrap up the Arizona Cardinals?
Nah.
Yeah, to the 3 Arizona Cardinals fans, congrats on getting Marvin.
I would have liked him.
I would have